Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including four-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a four-time champion of the NASCAR Pekin Freeze.
Three-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a three-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From this, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates, VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Andy, and in this car, which is quite dependent on the slipstream, if you can nail that slipstream throughout this circuit, well, that could potentially bind you an extra few tenths of a second.
Yeah, for sure. This part of the track they're coming up to now, the inner loop, is vital. They need to get that correctly. If they don't get that correctly, they can get a slowdown on the exit of that corner. So it's vital corner, the inner loop. The outer loop, they need to make sure they keep it nice and smooth around the outside and keep it in that slipstream that you were mentioning going down the straights. So yeah, vital that they keep their speed up. So when I was noticing the practice as well, they were using fourth gear a lot. So pretty much after the S's, they're pretty much staying in fourth gear the rest of the lap around the circuit. So high speed track and hopefully some really good racing.
Definitely. These next kind of lap times are going to come in. I doubt it. I think we'll be into the 24s by the end of this. He hasn't been set a time yet. Hides as well, not really showing his true pace, but for the time being, I mean, take a screenshot of that if you're from the Netherlands, because boys are doing well at the moment, but not for long.
Okay, let's just
Hyde,
jump up there.
yeah, multiple, well, maybe only one-time race winner last season, but he was probably the biggest rival to Roberto Ferrari, who Ferrari won the championship last season. Hyde's certainly one of the favourites going into this season, and he takes provisional pole. Drove a little bit by himself, but undoubtedly he should move up the order with this lap time as he doesn't improve. So maybe some doubts should have been due for that one. Hyde's interesting, Andy, when it comes to these qualifying sessions. 10 minutes is an awkward length. It's kind of too long to do one stint in. You know, you probably want to refuel or take new tyres, and it's a little bit too short to kind of warrant stopping and taking a new set of tyres. It changes depending on the car and what your strategy is for this session, but most of the drivers seemingly are just going to do all the laps in one go and not take any new tyres.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously depends on the track temperature as well, how the temperature gripping. Some people will go in, like you saw there, Caleb went in, probably coming out again to try and to get his extra tyres. But it probably takes about a lap for these tyres to really warm up. So, like you said, you know, 2, 3, 4, there you're going to get the faster times each time. And certainly if you're behind someone within the tow as well, yeah, that's going to be a couple of tenths of a second. So it's whether you want to give up the tow that you've currently got on the car in front of you to go into the pits to get a new set of tyres.
And one of the difficulties as well with the iRacing system is that if you pick up a 0x on your qualifying lap, then that lap gets deleted. So right now, I'm sure McMullen would love to give the driver ahead a little bit of a bump chart. It's not possible though. And now they're just costing each other time. I don't really know why McMullen went for that one, because they'll just totally wreck that lap. Not that I think it was going to be amazing. Anyway, McMullen trying to get past here. This is against Healy and Jet, guys.
I know.
You wouldn't have guessed it, because now we've got a three-way battle for the fans of this, and I think McMullen takes the wise decision there and just backs out. But the 1-2-7 of Churlo, who came second in the amateur championship last season, he now leads these guys, and that's smart for these amateur drivers, as indicated by the white stripe on the timing tower and the 2 in front of their number. It's smart for them to try to nip in behind a pro and steal their jobs. If you're an amateur driver behind another amateur driver, you know, you're not really going to gain much time in the draft.
No, very true. I mean, it was interesting you mentioned there about Thor looking 4th place in the AM return of the championship. Mentioned there about Thor looking 4th place in the AM return of the championship. And we've also got the 2nd and 3rd place from season 1 in the pros. So, you know, some experienced guys out there and new guys. We've got 11 new guys that have never raced in ARL. It's interesting for them to get the practice off the guys that have got the experience. But it's a great, like you said at the start, it's a great car to drive, and everybody started off when he joined iRacing. Driving this car, and it's a shame that it's obviously down the rookie class and the B class. It's just when you get up to your A class license, you find that you don't really drive this car. Get back into the car and know that, you know, you're not going to affect your safety rating or I rating, and have some really good battles.
Absolutely, and yeah, a lot of these drivers, of course, some of these drivers will be Mazda specialists, but you know, you do have the advanced MX-5 Cup, but you know, it's quite a daunting series to go into, even if you are, you know, an A-class driver. Actually, I was about to say I was an A-class driver. I haven't been an A-class driver for like 2 years, I think, because I pick up too many off tracks. But even if you're a decent driver, jumping into the advanced MX-5 Cup, it's quite tricky. So yeah, this league format featuring many drivers who, of course, race in our other series on Apex Racing League and dabble in other cars. It's quite a good environment to get yourself up to speed in this car. You'll see the lovely divide at the moment between the Pro and the AMs. We've noticed this many times. AOLTC in qualifying, we get that time after time after time. And tonight, remarkably, the Pro-Am split is about appropriate because we've got the top 10 are the pros, and then the bottom 9 are the amateurs, as Saimanek makes that the top 11 pro drivers now. So this is going absolutely wonderfully right now for the admin team. Yeah, the Polish driver up into 7th place. Hides back out onto the circuit, but we've only got a few more seconds of qualifying, and once that 10 minutes is up, you cannot complete the lap time that you started.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like up to the top 10, we're in with 1 second of each other, the pros, with Julio just not far out of that. So all the pros within a second of each other. So this should be a really interesting race. It's going to be interesting going into turn 1, Sam. That is one of the corners on this racing track that is always a bit hectic at the start of the race. People going up the inside, but the good thing about turn 1 is obviously there's a lot of runoff space on the left hand side, so, and you don't get an off track there, so you know there's a lot of space to work with in turn 1 to get that good run up to the S's down to the back straight.
Yeah, it should be a very entertaining one on this opening lap, as it should be for the entire race. On pole position then is Caleb Hydes. Just as he wanted to start the season, he did out-qualify Tom Valentini. Rafael Franco lines up in 3rd place. 3 different continents being represented in the top 3 places. Then it's Philip Lauer in 4th. Tom Mackrell making it a good qualifying for low grip racing and for the Netherlands. Then it's Philippe Sen, Paul Saimanek, Ivan Pinocchio, Ronald Moons, Arias Yamantes, and Thor Churley. Top of the amateur drivers is Dan Parmalee. Behind him is Nathan Healy, Jenko van der Ven, Darren Doherty, Damian McMullen, Wade Proctor, Dave Noonan, Andrew Bramer, Jay Walsh, and unfortunately I don't think we're going to see Paul Joseph Clift. I think he's had some hardware issues or some issues with the iRacing sim tonight. So unfortunately, he's not able to get the system running, and so he won't be taking part, but we will have 20 other drivers taking part for tonight's race. By the way, quick sponsor message as well for SDK Gaming, who provide our amazing overlay for this series and all of our series on Apex Racing TV. The SDK Gaming overlay, the absolute best overlay in iRacing. You can do so much customization. It's amazing for broadcasting and amazing for streaming. As here comes Hydes then off the line to start the season. Franco immediately managing to get past Valentini for 2nd position as well as they race down into turn 1, but Hydes straight away pulling away and trying to break that draft behind. Sen with a good start, Yamantas with an excellent start to gain a couple of places, as Mackwell just losing out down into 7th place as the drivers further down start to go side by side. But certainly for the front runners, all single file as Valentini tries to take back that 2nd place. Into the bus stop for the first time in the event. A massive incident further back. That was Bramer, was it? Walsh and Bramer who were at the back of the order. Thank goodness they were, otherwise that would have been a pile-up undoubtedly had it been near the front. But Walsh and Bramer colliding, they were last and 2nd to last anyway, I believe.
Yeah, that is a really bad corner, that. If you get offline on that corner, the car behind you has got nowhere to go really on that, so it's probably one of them incidents where it got hit up the backside from the car behind. Really, a great start from Hydes. You know, he had a really good big off by Valentini at the end. But you can save it in these cars quite well actually, going out that corner. In a GT3 or something else, that car going off that corner is treacherous, but in these MX-5s you can actually save it going around that corner for sure. But he's lost quite a few places there, hasn't he?
Yeah, it looks like, where, of course, if we had the updated Watkins Glen, that'd be all tarmac, and he'd probably be picking up a slowdown right now, or going quite far, so wide. But I must say, I do kind of prefer this older layout, proper grass, to deter the drivers from going off the track. As Simon Eck has gone up into 5th place, he's now got past Sen, so excellent start for Powell. He is up 2 places in his Apex Racing League debut, and this is looking very good, Andy, because the top 9 are all in a queue.
Yeah, for sure. It's that slipstream racing, isn't it, in this series? Because it's such a high-speed corner. You're looking at drivers in front of you making mistakes rather than catch up, because the lines are pretty straightforward going around these tracks, apart from turn 1. And it's a case of following them and trying to pick off people when they make mistakes, or making a bit of rubbing there on the doors from Germantus.
Yeah, and these guys are still battling heading into the penultimate corner. Don't want to lose too much time. Mantis managing to stay ahead of Pinocchio, and I personally cannot wait to make as many puns we can about Pinocchio's name. I cannot lie. I'm
Bit of a long stretch.
looking forward to it. I mean, come on, guys, watch this season just for that. All side by side for 2nd place. Valentini's back up past Franco.
Yeah, so Valentini's got the fastest lap, 125.3 at the moment. The rest of them are all around the 125.7 mark, so he made a really good effort in that lap. He's obviously got Caleb in his sights now, and he's going to try and track him down, but he's just obviously got to be aware of Franco behind him, because he's going to be hot on his heels trying to get that place back again. All the pros are pretty much, again, as you said, Sam, all in a big long train that's going down the back straight, coming onto the inner loop. So see what it's this corner here is very different lines you can take. And you've got to be you got Franco. Was that Franco? Yeah, Franco took the wrong line there on the inside. So that's one of the treacherous things about that corner. You take that inside corner, and one of your wheels will be on the grass. And it's just making sure that you keep that steering wheel straight and be able to get that exit onto the 2nd corner to get the really good speed out. But yeah, he got that offline there for sure. Yeah, putting way down the order now.
Yeah, and Valentini, I think, picked up a slowdown as well. So moving forwards up into 2nd place, back down into 8th, and being fairly aggressive to try to defend, of course, as he was serving his slowdown. So look at the gap that hides is now waiting 2 seconds after the draft group. So it would need to be an incredible performance now from Lauer in order to reclaim that gap. So yeah, very disappointing there. Well, it's trading back a bit now. I think we'll be quite happy to be in 2nd place because yeah, bad news there for Valentini. He's got a lot of work to do, and now of course Lauer, it's a bit of a sitting duck. This part of the circuit is so easy flat out for the drivers. It goes uphill, which of course decreases speed, so the slipstream effect you get is absolutely huge. Say move side by side. Simon Eck is now up 5 places from his start, comfortably past Lauer, but they will go side by side into the chicane. It's 3 wide further back, but they do a terrific job there of getting through it all. It was Mackwell who was kind of the diligent one there and backed out of it. But well, this is if this is what we're going to get for the rest of the season, we're going to have our wits about us this championship, Andy. There's 24 races of this coming up.
Yeah, so excited. I mean, Hives was obviously lucky that Valentino and Franco basically had the incidents around going the inner circle, because obviously that gave him the emphasis to get away from, because we had one other slow down and obviously one got the corner on the inside. But that gave him the gap to get away, and he's obviously keeping it quite well at the moment. Broke that slipstream. It is slightly coming down. It's 1.94 now, so the pack is starting to catch him back up again. But that slipstream effect is going to be minimal now for 2nd place, so he's going to have to really work together to pull him back into the pack for sure.
They did manage to make a little bit of the gap back on that last lap, but yeah, as you say, they've got on work together. They possibly can. So it's Ronald Moons, who finished 3rd place last season. I did commentate on all of it, but he was certainly one of the highest paced drivers last season. In the pro category was a bit unlucky actually, because he had to go up against some terrific drivers. This time he's got a bit more competition in the pro category.
Yeah, he came 2nd last year, Sam. And
thank you for that.
Yeah, and Kylo came first. There was actually only 1 point between them two in the end of last season, so I expect them two to be battling that out this season for sure.
Yeah, exactly. It was terrific season. Really moons with terrific consistency. Did win a race as well, obviously. Back at Daytona. It's good elsewhere. As Pinocchio off the circuit does well though, and he lost a little bit of time, but now he's gone offline through the final corner. He might be fit trained by the drivers behind. Yomantis up into 5th, and McQuell and Valentini, I think, might both be passed into turn 1 as well.
Three wide into turn 1. Oh, nice and clean. Very nice and clean. So where he went off and then corner, you can actually do that, and I've seen it in practice. Quite a few of them were actually going off that track and getting on the grass, because that corner beforehand's a real fast left-hander, and if you can take it a little bit faster, you do get pushed out onto the grass. But with these cars being so agile, you can actually keep it on the grass and not lose too much time going up that part.
This is absolutely crazy racing right now. I'm surprised we haven't seen more clashes between the drivers. Staying fairly civil at the moment. This pack going down into 13th place. I mean, I'd be saying apologies that we're not focusing on other battles, but this is the battle because it encompasses pretty much half the field right now. It's Pinocchio, who was up in 5th position before that mistake, down into 7th. He might be losing another place to Valentini, who's failed to really make much progress. That's the Joe who started in 2nd place, but picked up a slowdown when he cut the bus stop. Hides is still leading, but the gap is coming down. It was half a second difference on the last lap. You can see on the bottom of your screen the difference this lap is another 3:10. So if the Polish driver behind, Simonek, can continue to close down, then he will catch by the end of this race.
Yeah, it seems like the top 4 of there's about a second between each one of the top 4, so there's trying to get some gaps up here. The rest of the field from 5th all the way down to 13th are all within a second of each other. So yeah, real close train there, but these top 4 now are starting to speed away from the rest of the pack with a second in between, but I'm pretty sure that it's not over yet by a long shot, Sam.
Oh,
what's happening, Tom? Oh, big on the inner loop.
The 181 round. Yeah, Means will say it was Means. Yeah, Means and Valentini originally getting together, and that was all going in slow motion, it seemed, as they both spun back onto circuit into the course of other drivers. As we see a replay of how this one kicked off. I think it's just a tap in the rear initially. Yeah, a bit aggressive there from Moons, I think it was. And, going over the other driver, and yeah, a few drivers really lucky to get through that, or McMullen in particular had to really slow down to take evasive action. And by the way, someone just asking on the YouTube chat, is that not the flag of Luxembourg, not the Netherlands? I think it is, because it's blue at the bottom, isn't it? So I was just surprised. I couldn't quite believe that Luxembourg could have so much success, because there's not many of them, a country of 300,000 people. And they were in this race, and they're representing the micronation very well at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like they've all got MX-5s over there, I think. Yeah, doing really well, but no, Kayla Hibbs has now actually been caught by Symantec, so it should be a nice end to this race. So there's only about 2.5 minutes left to go in this race. So yeah, it's coming down to the wire for these two. They've pulled away quite nicely. It's 3rd place, about 2 seconds behind. So yeah, the race is on for 1st place.
Yeah, this is a proper tricky one to call now, but this is really impressive from Simonek. And by the way, lets us know how to pronounce his name. We were having a mare with the Polish names last night in the IGP Fun Series. always stuff like that welcome in the chat. And of course, let us know as well who you are supporting out on circuit. Let us know so if there's any fan clubs out there. But Highs yet being caught once again. These two really setting out their stall for the championship tonight. Loud, to be fair, has been matching Hides on the most part, but did lose a little bit of time on that previous lap. As I think we might see a change for the lead on this time round. Hides just has pretty much no defender.
No, their slipstream's too powerful, as we say. Come down the backstretch, so it's right on his tail now. It depends where he goes into the inner loop. But he may keep it to just keep behind him, but you never know. He might. He's keeping it nice and clean, keeping just behind and keep that slipstream up. You know, he's got another lap to go, another 2 laps to go, so maybe he just wants to stick behind him, keep in that slipstream, and then take him on the last lap. So we'll see what his tactics are coming into the rest of the race. But certainly looking behind him, Philip Lala is about 2.4 seconds behind him. Philippe Sen now is a second behind him. So yeah, the top 4 are certainly pulled away from the rest of the field, and then 4 all the way down to 13th, all real close battling against them.
And the reverse grid for race 2 will be 9 places. So at the moment, we would have Franco on pole position, but that's far from decided because he's got Churley, McMullen, Healy, Doherty, Proctor. Apologies, not Proctor, but all the way down to Doherty are very close behind. By the way, it is an Irish 1, 2, 3 at the moment, so congrats to that one. Some of these nations are really punching above their weight so far tonight. There is McMullen at the top of this one. He undoubtedly will be wanting to get that amateur win and maybe play it a bit safe, but at the same time we'll have hopes on getting that reverse grid pole if we can. Simon Eck is still just giving a push to Hyde, so he doesn't want to overtake yet, maybe feeling like Lauer could catch up in time. These drivers are just going to have one more lap to go after this one, so it looks as though the Polish driver is leaving it for maybe one last move at the back straight.
Yeah, so it's all going to come down to that turn 1. If he can get a really good exit after that turn round, going up the S's to get him down the back straight, I think that's what his plan is. But you know, we'll have to see what his turn 1 is, and if he can keep right behind him. If he's up the S's going into after turn 1, then I think he'll get him on that back straight.
Yeah, it's all about just staying close through the final couple of corners, and then yeah, of course gaining a bit on the pit straight, not messing up turn 1, and it should all be good for him. And he's done the first part of that very well.
His first corner. Let's see how we get some of this. This is the crucial corner. You know, you need a really good exit to get out, to keep right behind him, to keep that slipstream going. It looks like he got a really good run out of there. Hit the grass. Oh. Might be a little bit too far back, to be honest. Have to see going up back straight.
Yeah, looks pretty good. He didn't want to catch up too quick. He didn't want to catch up through the S's.
Oh, there we go.
Catches up through the straight as Heights does go a bit defensive. Makes Simon Eck go slightly wider, but he's still getting his car ahead, and the outside line usually into this chicane is a fairly good line to take, and the Polish driver does get ahead for the first time in this race. He's still got to defend though around these final few corners. Into the carousel they go for the final time in this opening race of the evening. It's only a third of the points being handed out in this race, but it sure could set the course of the championship with these two sprinting away from the rest. And despite Hayes having the slipstream, there doesn't look like there's going to be a retaliation for him. It's just one more corner for the leaders to go, and then the run to the line. Taking a little bit of curb there was Powell. However, in his Apex Racing League debut, he could have enough to take the win, and he does by a fraction of a second, 3/100ths of a second at the line for Powell Simonek, who wins race 1 at Watkins Glen behind Franco, takes reverse grid pole, and Damien McMullen takes the amateur class win. Congratulations to him, and what a fun race that was.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously we didn't really look at the AM races, but Damien McMullen was up 5 places in that way to take the AM win, so a really great run for him. Yeah, it'd be interesting to find out what happened to Dan Parmalee, actually. He seemed to drop off, lost 5 places at the end of that, so he obviously had an incident somewhere in that race, but like you said, an Irish 1, 2, 3 in the AMs, so great day for the Irish, I think, in the amateurs.
Yes, as already we head over to race 2. There's well, there is a pause. I was about to say there's no pause in this series. There is a pause between race 2 and race 3, but there's no pause between race 1 and race 2. And look at that. I kind of thought that Simon Eck had it in the bag, honestly, going out the final corner, but it was close. 3 100s ahead of Hides, Laura, Mackwell, Sen, Diamantis, Pinocchio, Valentini, Franco, Churlo rounding up the top 10. There was McMullen, Healy, Doherty, Proctor, Noonan, Moons, Parmalee, Walsh, Bramer, Van der Ven, rounding up the 20 drivers. Reverse grid of 9, like I said earlier on. So we've got Franco on the pole position for this race. Valentini, Pinocchio in 2nd and 3rd. Valentini, remember, started in 2nd place in race 1. Didn't go too well for him on that occasion. Can it go better this time? The green flag is out for the 2nd time. Turn 9, there's already an off in the background, but Valentini is not going to be able to rival Franco down into turn 1. Good start for Laura and Heights. Dreadful start for Diamantis, who really struggled to get off the line seemingly, and Pinocchio making an attack on Valentini straight away, but Diamantis down 5 places already from his start. Good start as well for Hides, the race 1 2nd place man, as they are up the hill for the first time. It's a little bit more racing than in race 1. But yeah, Hides is just a man on the mission at the moment, already up to 5th.
Yeah, I think they were blowing the cobwebs out for race 1, so race 2 will probably get a lot more interesting. They seem to be taking up the unusual order of the long line coming off the inner loop, going into the outer. Oh, a car going on the inside. That's Tom McCall. Yes, obviously he over-egged that braking area going into the inner loop, which is quite easily to do, so would have got to slow down for that for sure. They're serving that, so he'll be well down the fields, going into P12, down 6 places.
McCall's looked very quick tonight, but hasn't quite had the luck on his side. And, yeah, slowed down on the first lap. It's absolutely costly as off the circuit goes Simon Eck. Oh, he's back onto track, and the 2 cars alongside one another. He collided with them. Good recovery here from Diamantis. He was down into 9th place, but he's back up into 6th position now. But he's got 2 drivers working against him at the moment. The bump draft technique heading into turn 1 hasn't really worked though for them, because Diamantis is able to take a sweeping line into turn 1 and reclaims that place. Valentini was all over the shop through turn 1, going onto the grass, being carried terrific speed, and those top drivers are still very close. High's now up to 4 places. He's up into 4th position overall. And also shout out to Ronald Moose, who's up 5 places from his start, but it's frankly tricky to know what to concentrate on, because it's all going.
Yeah, Valentini, obviously, as you saw there in the first corner, went into it a little bit too hot, went out really wide and took a lot of grass coming on the exit. Still managed to keep the speed, and I think Pinocchio actually followed him slightly into that corner, so you had both of them going out wide. So a little bit of formation driving there on the grass, but they both kept it nice and clean. Managed to not lose. Oh, big accident by Moons. And that's from the inner loop. Oh, sorry, the outer loop. Have a look at it. What happened?
Going by himself, I think, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, 2. Both of them synchronized cars there, and a big crash. Picking up 4 or 5.
Oh wow, jeez.
Yeah, that's easily coming out that corner. If you get too much grass on that inside corner, then you're offline coming on the exit on that corner, and that's where you get bent out of shape. So very easily to be done, and certainly in these cars, the front wheel drive cars, they don't like their back ends going out a bit too much, I think.
It was Healy, the driver who had the other spin, and then once he collected the car, I think he piled into Moons there. Noonan also out on the spot. They do get a faster pass, so they might still be able to reach the checkered flag at least, as Valentini is looking for a race lead finally, 3 wide for the lead here at Watkins Glen, and it's Pinocchio. He manages to pull ahead there, as in the background that's Franco, former race leader, having a dreadful corner. He's picked up a slowdown, and all of a sudden his race winning hopes probably coming to an end, because he's got a bit more of that slowdown to serve, and he could be down to about 10th place by the time he does.
Yeah, for sure. That slowdown's around about 0.8 of a second, but overall for the speed you lose coming down this straight by slowing down, you're probably talking about at least a second and a half you're losing on this current straight. So it's a big, you can lose big points and big places in that slowdown. So it's vital you push it as much as you can, but try and stay off that slowdown, because that will be sort of put you down the order for sure. Certainly on the first racing I've seen here today. The front four are starting to, or front three are starting to peel away slightly from fourth place. First and second obviously right on the tail of each other, Pinocchio and Valentini. Hyde's obviously in third place, so another great race until he started in 9th place, up 5 places. So yeah, really he's a man on the mission for this set of races for sure.
Mantis just gave someone a tap. Was very apologetic about it, expected the other driver to spin, and then just lost a bunch of time himself. I think he hit Sen, although I'm not 100% sure, but Sen managed to hold his own anyway. Oh my god, it's 3 wide again. Last time it was Pinocchio who came out on top of this one, and it's Pinocchio again. He is really driving very well at the moment, and actually it stayed all the same way round. These guys may want to work together instead of backing themselves up into the others, because yeah, going 3 wide into the bus stop, that's a guaranteed half-second loss. So it has allowed the peloton to catch up a bit.
I didn't realise we turned into racing here. Racing. Yeah, no,
I don't know anything about cycling, by the way. I just know it's a
really
peloton, I think.
Yeah, for sure. But no, it seems to be a really, you know, this is the thing I love about league racing, is it's so clean, and people give spaces. That in a normal situation wouldn't have ended well for all 3 drivers, but I think all 3 of them gave each other the room to be able to do what they did, which made it really good. And we'll get it again and again going into that corner. I think they'll all be at it each and every round on that one. But yeah, big gaggle of cars here going up to the S's, so need to keep obviously in single file up here, or else they will lose time coming out this corner, because there's only really one line to keep the maximum speed going up through these S's. You lose time if you're off that line.
Thanks to everyone who has subscribed to the channel during this broadcast. Fran Campbell and also Stephen Lowbridge. Of course, do subscribe to Apex Racing TV to see more action like this. We've got 7 more meetings, apologies, of this championship remaining. Every week with just 1 break week across the season, along with so many other broadcasts. It's like 15 or so, couldn't possibly go through them all, but we've got GT3 racing, GTE racing starting up soon as well, Formula 3 action. We've even got some oval stuff, some North American stuff, all those time slots, pretty much everything on Apex Racing TV. So subscribe to the channel and also check out our Twitch accounts as well, if that is the place where you prefer to watch your streams, and also the latency is a little bit lower as well over on platform, so do check that out. Mantis, after various misdemeanors so far in this race, ahead of Laura, and he's recently made that move because he was 7/10 faster than Laura on the last lap. Mantis currently only 2.7 seconds off the lead. And by the way, not too many battles going on at the moment in the amateur category. McMullen miles away from the next highest driver, which is Doherty. But yeah, not too much going on. A little bit of battle between Van der Ven and Proctor and Walsh. But the main racing going on at the front as Hydes moves back up into 2nd place.
Yeah, I think your Mantis is going to be called the yo-yo this race. Certainly, he went down to like 9th. He's now up to 7th, got up to 5th. So yeah, he's all over the field, battling hard going into it. So yeah, he's a quick driver, and we'll see where he ends up in this race. But certainly the front 3 again still battling it out. First place, Pinocchio starting to pull a slight gap over 2nd place. Not too much to be worried about at the moment. I'm sure they'll claw it back in. Will Valentini. So yeah, coming around the last corner. This corner here is really good. You can actually get so much speed coming out of this corner. Good one to take when you're actually in the car, because that wall on the left-hand side comes at you quite quickly for sure.
Yeah, being it takes quite a few laps. It takes quite a bit of bravery as well to consistently be kind of getting close to that barrier. And gain a couple of tenths there. Oh, no. Arias, you didn't learn your lesson from earlier on. I think he hit Sen on that occasion. But earlier on, it didn't affect Sen too much. This time, it has cost both of them poorly. Humantis back onto circuit. Sen needs to kind of thread the needle a little bit there. And is a disappointing event there. Certainly is pertaining to the yo-yo driver, sneaking back down outside the top 10. 3 wide for second place this time. And it's now Simonek who moves up into second place. I'd forgotten that Powell, who won race 1, of course, was really in this event. He's probably been the most quiet out of the leading pack so far. But he caught up to those top 3, and he's now in amongst them into second.
Yeah, great 5-car battle here, going into the second half of the race. The last 4 minutes, so another 2-3 laps to go. So all to play for in this. So Hybs is going up to third, coming down to fourth. So he's still there within a shot in fourth place. So any of these cars, to be fair, one mistake from another driver, and the place will be theirs. So should be some really good battling in these last 2 laps. I think 2 laps.
Still got a third of the race to go. It's I mean, they're short races, but do pack a lot into them. As Hyde's kind of had a good grip on this race earlier on. He caught up to the top guys quick. Certainly was the favourite in my book, but so he couldn't quite get into the lead and maybe lead this train away from the rest. It's made it a little bit complicated for him. That's absolutely awesome. Photographers after this race are going to have an absolute field day because all of these shots look absolutely awesome with the train of cars. That is Pinocchio getting quite a helping hand there from the drivers behind, and leads for another lap. Not really any changes, I think, though. Only Hyde's not being quite able to get past Valentini was the noticeable one there, and also Franco just dropping off the back of these guys in 5th place.
Yeah, that first corner that we saw on Hybs on board, that was a perfect line going through there. You saw that he took a little bit of the curb on the outside, but got a really good run on the guy in 3rd place, but unfortunately wasn't able to take that place going up the S's. So, well, that's a perfect line going through the first corner. We're around the last corner now, so the 4 cars in it. Still, obviously, like you said, Franco's starting to drop off a little bit off the back of these 4. So it's certainly at the moment it seems like a 4-horse race with the front 2 bump drafting each other to help each other along, I think. It'll be good to see what they're like into the first corner.
And these they seem to be compatible to these 2 drivers out in the lead, working well together. By the way, we just had a question in the chat. Can I sign up for the next round of the championship? You absolutely can. If you head over to apexracingleague.com, you can find sign-up details along with much more information on the series, such as the calendar and all the rules documents and stuff like that. And you can get signed up for next week of the series, as Hyde is storming through into the lead.
Oh, what a great
that
move.
Was similar to what Pinocchio did earlier on through the middle, and Pinocchio, after leading for, 10 minutes or so, all of a sudden finds himself in 4th.
So quickly how the positions can change in this championship, which is attuned to the racing it is. All cars are equal, all fixed setups, so it makes for the drivers to do the racing. So it's a different lines you go through, and obviously, as we saw there, Hyde's making an absolute brilliant move down onto the inner circle, going round to the outer loop. So yeah, brilliant move there, and unfortunate for Pinocchio going from 1st to 4th with Franco, and Lauer has now actually joined the group, so it's actually a 6-car battle now for the lead group.
Valentini is moving past Simonek, feeling like he doesn't want to lose any time here. And there he goes. That's quite bold, of course, against the race 1 winner, Powell, of course. But he does feel very confident about himself, and of course Powell now just giving the 2nd place man a bump draft. Just got 1 more lap to go after this one, and they've got 0.8 of a second to gain on the race leader. And they're not working together all of a sudden, because Simonek, I think, feels like their only chance of catching up is for him to go into 2nd place. But Valentini isn't going to let this one go easy, and they are just going to lose each other more time by racing like this. Simonek does move up into second place, but hides now with a 1.2 second gap. He's surely home and dry.
Yeah, it just shows that maybe he was just getting held up in that pack. He's now got free air in front of him. He can stretch out his legs, and to make that sort of 1.2 seconds gap within half a lap, he's on fire today, I think. Got this track dialed in, and now he's just going to stretch his legs and take the win again.
Yeah, looks like it. Good work from Simonek, to be fair, to get the gap back down to 1.1, although it wasn't a great final corner. He might be getting a tiny draft from that distance back, but it's not going to be enough to close, I think. And I think he will have to pay his attention to keeping Valentini behind as Pinocchio moves past Franco.
Yeah,
quite wide there.
Oh, he just got that move done, going into too wide into the first corner. So I think he got pushed out and pushed out Franco into the outer realms of the first corner.
Simonek might just be safe here from Valentini due to the slight draft from Hides. I think Valentini's going to catch quick enough here. Gap out in the lead was 1.2 seconds. It's down to 0.6 of a second, but only one more long straight from here on in. Hides does need to be cautious about this. Well, not cautious, he needs to just be quick. That's what he needs to do.
Yeah,
But,
I think the battle now is for Pinocchio and Franco, really. They seem to be all over each other in this last lap. So I think the battle's certainly going to be there between them two, for sure. See what Franco can do. Pinocchio's just got in front of him again.
And look at Lara as well. Almost with these guys will certainly take advantage of any incidents if there are any. But Pinocchio pretty strong through that penultimate corner, as through the final corner was second best for Caleb Hides in race 1. But he is going to come back in this race 2 to take his first victory of the season. Caleb Hides wins race 2 here at Watkins Glen. Simonek finishes in second place, meaning that those two drivers are even on points after the first 2 races of the season. Valentini with a good podium after disappointing race 1, and Pinocchio was the driver who beat Franco in the end. Pinocchio, who led for most of the race, will be a bit disappointed with that, but still some decent points for the Italian right there. And in the amateur category, it's another win for Damien McMullen. He was he started as top of the amateur drivers, and he made that advantage pay throughout. It was Van der Ven and Walsh who finished in 12th and 13th. Good drive from Van der Ven there to gain 8 places from his starting position of 20th. We are going to show you a little bit of an advert now for one of our sponsors, because we've got a 5-minute break before we launch race 3 of the evening, which will have another reverse grid applied. So we'll show you this a little bit of an advertisement, and then we'll be back with you straight away on Apex Racing TV. See you in a moment.
Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV and the Apex Racing League Mazda Cup, the season opener for Season 2 of the Championship. We are just finishing this kind of cool-down warm-up session before heading into the final race of the evening, a 15-minute sprint with a reverse grid of 7 cars. Anyone who watched race 2 will roughly know what the starting order is. It's Thor Churley, who was in 7th place in race 2, who gets reverse grid pole. Then it's Philip Lauer, Raphael Franco, Ivan Pinocchio, and Tom Valentini. The rest of the order will flow through for you now. Amateur leader will be Damien McMullen in 8th position, going for a hat-trick of podium wins. So already the drivers are gridded up and the final race of the evening is about to launch here at Watkins Glen. The 127 of Churley pulls away and we are away racing, but it's a brilliant start for Lauer, who immediately moves into the lead. Churley might be able to keep parts of his car alongside into turn 1 at least, but breaks fairly early and continues to drop places as Franco moves up into 2nd. We've got 3 wide now for 3rd position as it gets worse and worse for Churley, who's down to 5th already off the start. There's almost contact there, and it's almost a spin for race 1 winner Simon Eck right there, but he has been able to pull that side off. off, and he's up 2 places from his start into 4th place. As Franco immediately going for the lead here, instead decides to bump draft the race leader. Pinocchio's not waiting around though, he's immediately going for the race lead here. They're side by side at the moment, but Pinocchio has to play second best, and it's Laura who leads after the first half lap.
Yeah, absolute terrible start for Tuller. You know, he's down into 5th. He's down into 7th place now, so from 1st to 7th place, so a terrible half a lap. So he needs to just put his head down. Oh, a big wide out there for Fuller. Again, he's not having a good start to this opening lap. He needs to put his head down now, get back into the game, and start picking these off again if he wants to get back up the grid. But yeah, great whole shot from Laura. He got first place straight pretty much off the line, great into the first corner, and Pinocchio, great dive into the inner loop. You know, oh, big off by Brahm. Let's see what happened there. He may have took that corner a little bit too fast going in there, but coming into the first corner, fastest lap 1:33.5 for Laura, Pinocchio in 2nd and Franco in 3rd. Oh, we have Simek just taking Franco on the first corner, so great move there done, going up into the S's.
Franco's gonna lose out another place, I think, to Valentini, who's the only driver in the top 17 who is in the place that he started as, is the Luxembourgian. Pinocchio takes the lead, just as he did in race 2. But Simonek, to also move past nice and quick, he's going to have to play 3rd best though, kind of caught on the outside there. It's probably the most risky place to be, especially into such a narrow corner. As Pinocchio's wide, has he picked up a slowdown there?
I think he may have got too fast on the exit there, going out wide. If you go out wide onto that corner, you literally lose all your speed coming around onto there, so you've got to go a lot slower. You really want to be taking that inside line, following that curb on the inside to get the maximum speed, so then you can open the corner out for this exit. And I think he just, too much speed coming out of that corner, which pushed him out wide into the outer loop. As we can see here, it's formation driving on the grass. So like I said earlier, you know, cars will do that because these cars are quite well planted. You can actually save them quite well and not lose a lot of time. Whether that's within the rules, I don't know. I'm sure you'll be able to tell us that.
Well, the off tracks are defined by iRacing. Is what I always say. So, oh no! What was going on there? That was Van der Ven and Parmalee going to blows, and I think Parmalee kind of disappeared for a second. Van der Ven was a bit late on the brakes, and well, maybe the stewards will have to break up that fight after the meeting is concluded. Somehow they are still both going though. Here is Simonek into the lead. So in fact I think he was already apologies, no, it was Laura in the lead, wasn't it? Simonek now moves into the lead, but Laura is not giving him anything here, and actually they've gone side by side through the entire kind of inner loop right there. Brilliant driving from these two, and Laura is holding on, but we've got everyone down to 9th place. It's almost all the pros right now are in a queue. I don't hold up much hope here for Laura Simonek this time, giving him a bit of a bump draft.
Yeah, if we look at Pinocchio, he must have had a really poor exit out of the first corner or something, because he's gone from 1st down to 7th. He's made the place back up. So another great shot of somebody on the grass there. Yeah, so he went down to 7th, back up to 6th, so it shows how easy you can use your places by one little mistake on this track with these cars, certainly being this close to each other. And as you can see there, the first 7 of them are all in a line. So yeah, really good racing going around into this last race. So I wonder if we're going to have a new winner into the 3rd race, or is it going to be one of the usual suspects? Let's have a look. New time and time.
It's hard to call. Simonek taking the race 1 win, and Hyde's taking the race 2 win so far tonight. As in comes Simonek. Oh, that's an aggressive move, I think, from Franco, but Franco had to get out of it. Hyde's with terrific pace around the outside. Hyde's a little bit cautious there, and does stay in 4th place. So Simonek, apologies, taking the lead then on that one. Now immediately losing a few tenths of a second. Aaron and Franco need to make sure they don't battle too much, otherwise Simonek might be able to make a break for it. Meanwhile, there's a bit of a gap between Pinocchio and Hyde. Pinocchio just dropping a bit back as there goes Franco up the inside of Laura, and this is the battling that I kind of said that they shouldn't try to do, because Simon Egg is getting away right now, but Laura really positioning that car well so far tonight. He's been terrific at defence, and he does keep that second place.
Yeah, I think that was a bit of commentator's curse there. As soon as I said that, obviously Simonet got to the front and he's got to stretch his legs. So like you say, they all need to work together to try and pull him back in. Obviously the fighting behind is helping him pull away a lot more. It's very interesting when you go down this straight, going down the back straight now, how much they get spread across all the track and going 3 wide into the inner loop. It's every single lap it seems to be the same, and it's an amazing thing to watch going down into that corner for sure.
Sparks flying up, at least on my screen. It might just be lag, but sure does look spectacular. As that's very brave from Franco. Well, he's done it. But saying before, maybe you can see a first-time winner. I don't think we are. Simonet quite far ahead now, because that was absolutely huge from the Brazilian. And he's up to the front of this pack, but yeah, 2 seconds now to the race leader. And yeah, there's no sign of this one ending. By the way, quick shout out to one of our sponsors for this championship, Apex Racing Academy, who I believe do setups for this car. I better check that actually. I do believe they do setups for this car, do Apex. Yes, they do actually. For the for I think one of the Mazda Cup series, you can get setups for free actually on Apex Racing Academy for this Mazda MX-5 car. So if you're starting on iRacing and you want to commit to a subscription service yet, head over to Apex Racing Academy. You can get the setups and the track tutorials all for free for this Mazda MX-5 machine, and also of course you can get setups for 28 other cars as well, following all the official iRacing series, and that is on the road and rallycross side of racing. So do check out apexracingac.com for more details on that. As Franco, well, there comes Hyde. He's storming through the middle here. Franco was super deep on the brakes on the last lap. He's super deep again, but it's actually further back where the contact is happening. It's Laura who cuts across the grass. The former race leader is now down to 11.
They were going into that corner 4 wide then, so there was not a lot of space to move around, but we got 10 cars from 2 down to 13 in this big long train here. And we've got Simonet obviously pulling away now, 3.1 seconds ahead of the field. So, it's his to lose now. I think slipstream's well and truly gone. So certainly the fight's on for second place between second all the way down to 13th. So it keeps changing every single lap, Sam. So it's certainly an interesting last race of the night.
Yeah, over halfway through now. Simonet another half a second clear. Pinocchio feeling the need to go defensive into one. It's odd with Hyde because he seems to always kind of be storming through, but I think he's probably been the most patient of these drivers. He's very young as well, is Kalen, which is very annoying for myself to have young, successful people, because he's very quick. He's only about 16 years old, and also it's very early in the morning, so how he is doing as well as he is very impressive. Oh, that was a massive slide there for the 89 of Pinocchio, snaking down the straight due to, I think, the bump draft there from Hyde, which must have just not quite been square on. But it did help him out quite a bit. He managed to keep that second place and pulls a bit of a gap. And yeah, Hyde's now trying to get past Franco, but it's Franco who's got the draft from Pinocchio.
Yeah, so it's all change again. Pinocchio obviously down in about 7th place, a couple of laps down, he's now in 2nd place. So, he's a man on a mission. He loses a few places, but then gets it right back in, gets right back into the task at hand and gets back up there. He seems to be pulling slightly ahead of Franco now, just touching a second. But I'm pretty sure that they were pulling back in, going up the S's for sure. A bit of bump in there around turn 1.
Oh, this is driver's got to get back onto circuit here. Oh, good awareness. That was good from Mantis to leave a space there. Valentini had to run so wide I think it was Valentini had to run so wide the turn 1 just to allow the 3 cars which are on his inside, but good awareness. You do get decent visibility in this MX-5 car. He's going to be at the front
like a slingshot, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like a slingshot out of that first corner, you could sort of see it, but luckily, like you said, good awareness, spatial awareness from Germantis to actually leaving the space on the inside, or else that could have been race ending hit, I would imagine. Oh no, you got Sene taking the, who was that, Lauer?
Yeah.
Yep, took it into Lauer coming out that corner. It'd be interesting to see what happened there, whether Lauer was slow or Sene was a bit too ambitious coming out.
Thought there was a gap, but then now just taking maybe an
Closed
unusual
the door,
racing line there.
Then he closed the door on him, didn't give him any space there, I think. See what the viewers say at the end of that. If any protests get put.
Yeah, because that is a feature of this league and all of the Apex Racing League series. Any instance that the drivers feel annoyed about, they can report it, and the steward will have a look at the incidents and make any necessary penalties. That could be penalty points applied to the driver's points tally across the season, or it could be a pit lane starts. It's usually a combination of the two. Pinocchio is under pressure from Hides. Yep, lets him go on that occasion. These 3 have just pulled away slightly, but yeah, you know, one battle like this, I know I've said that a few times, but Juventus immediately gains a few tenths. Good lap, to be fair, there by Hides, fastest lap of the race last time now. And by the way, there's no bonus point for the fast lap, but there is a bonus point for getting 0 incidents. I don't think many drivers would have been able to accomplish that tonight, but maybe this man, Dave McMullen, although he did have a bit of a problematic start. But anyway, he's got enough points to himself anyway, because he is looking for a rare feat, which is 3 wins in a row, with that being the pro or the amateur categories. That is always tricky, but he's a little bit slow at the moment, taking some tight turn-ins, I think. And Nathan Healy is catching up to him. He caught by 3 tenths of a second on the last lap. I think he's going to gain it by a few more tenths on this lap.
Well, it seems to be the Irish domination in the AM League. It's first, second and fourth in this race, with only Wade Proctor to split them up to have the 1, 2, 3 again. So really good effort from the Irish guys today in the AM class for sure. Back up to the front, Hilo gets second place now. Yes, he gets into second place, so he needs to start stretching his lead, but I think Semenek is already booked out. He's 4.8 seconds ahead of these guys, not even in the picture shot. So you can see the lead that he's had and the battle-free running that he's been able to do to be able to stretch his legs. These guys have been changing places quite a lot during this. Oh, big hit there. Big hit. Franco gets pushed out wide, so he goes from about 5th place back down to 8th place, 9th place now. So yeah, not the best move there to going into the outer loop. That's MX-5 Racing, a bit of rubbing, I think.
Yeah, and this is the point in the meeting where it starts to get a bit personal out there, and maybe drivers will start to lean on one another a bit. I feel like Franco, if he gets a chance, he may well be quite aggressive on this last lap of the meeting, as this is amazing for Hides. He's been able to pull away significantly. This should be second place for him. Okay, it's 3 wide, it's 4 wide. Oh, that's a blown engine. It's a blown engine for Moves. Pinocchio, yeah, you're right, sorry. I was lying on that one. I know I've already used it, but it's still good. And he is not going to finish. He'll still score points, but he won't reach the checkered flag.
I think he'll be screaming inside of that car and inside of his Simri. Doing so well. He was up in second place for a long portion of his race, fighting his way back, and obviously just accidentally probably hit it down a gear too much in that first corner, and it blew the engine, which it can do in these things quite easily if you're not too careful. If you're overzealous, I think, with the gears. And great. So we've got Franco actually got into 3rd place now. So, you know, he was 7th place going into the start of the last lap. He's now up into 3rd, so really good. I think he certainly has got a bit between his teeth for that incident on the outer loop on the last lap.
And there's absolutely no holding back here. There's contact down the straight with Yamantas trying to tighten up the entry. Now he swoops around the outside. Simonek is about to take the race win, but it's close for 3rd, and it's close just behind as well, with drivers on top of one another. Can Mees get back on the wheels and drive it to the finish? It's going to be a very slow finish for these drivers. Oh wow, he nearly takes out a couple of other drivers. McQuell having problems in there because he was the driver who was launched, but it was Simonek who took the race win ahead of Hides, those two finishing in the top 2 in all 3 races, setting out their hopes for the championship. And it was Yamantis who ended up getting the podium. Impressive from there from Yamantis after a little bit of a tricky first couple of races. But well, could we get a replay of that incident at the end? In the end, it was Healy who managed to pass McMullen. So McMullen had issues. I think you could see that from the outside. He was much faster in the end and did manage to stop McMullen getting all 3 race wins. So congratulations to Healy for that, in the end, 8th position with the problems that happened for the cars ahead.
Yeah, what great racing tonight, for sure. Pros and the AMs, you know, the RA seem to dominate the AMs. Pros, you got Semantics and Hides obviously dominating the pro standing and win races in that. So, but some great races. See what happened here. Oh, I'll actually see what happened there. I think it was 1-1-3. So that was.
Yeah, that was McQuell. Maybe just came across, maybe? I'm not sure. Could have been netcode.
Possibly, but it seems to end both of their races. Not really the thing you want to be seeing on the last corner, for sure. Obviously, race 3 results. Symantec, Hides, and Germantus are your top 3. Franco, Tullo, Valini in 6th. Laura, who was obviously started in 1st pole position in that race, finished in 7th. Nathan Healy, the first of the Yams, in 8th place. Damian Mullen in 9th, Wade Proctor 10th, Manquel, Doherty, Parmalee. I feel sorry for Parmalee. He seemed to be up there at the start of the race and he had a bit of incidences in all 3 races, I think. Bellini in 7th, Walsh 15th, Senna, Moons and Pinocchio 16th, 17th, 18th, and I think that's out the grid. Then we got David Noon in 20th, so yeah. Great racing tonight, Sam. Really enjoyed it. Toto action, 3-car wide into corners that shouldn't really be going into corners. So great start and a great opening to the season for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, whilst we did have that big incident at the last corner, it was insane how across those 45 minutes, just how clean it was. Considering that the top 10 for the most part all grouped together, it was very clean. And, you know, hopefully we can keep that up for the rest of the season. We head to Road America for the next round of championship. And by the way, another quick shout out to Virtual Racing School, which is another sponsor for this championship. Virtual Racing School with over 50 data packs. So that's like a data pack for like 50 cars plus for both road and also oval racing. That's the type of racing that you're into. They offer setups, track guides, some terrific data analysis software, and also one-on-one coaching with some of the best drivers in iRacing. You know, Martin Kroenke comes to mind as probably one of the greatest sim racers of all time. He's one of the coaches over at Virtual Racing School, along with many other top names in the sim racing world. So do check out Virtual Racing School if you want to improve your on-track performance in iRacing. We are going to have some interviews now with a few of the drivers, and we've got a few to pick from, which is always nice. I'm going to have a chat first with Caleb Hides, who managed to take a race win tonight, but also 2 second places. Caleb, welcome to the commentary box. You must be pretty pleased with that tonight. I mean, race 1 was a tough loss, but 3 top 2 finishes is a great start to the season.
Yeah, hello, good to be back. Yeah, no, I'm pleased with that event to be able to get 2 seconds and a win. Almost got the win in race 1, but we just missed out by like 0.030 of a second. But yeah, no, that was a lot of fun, and I'm glad it went well. We were able to not make any mistakes and just keep it clean, not get any damage. So yeah, I'm happy with how it went.
From my eye, at least, it looked like, on the most part, you were maybe being a little bit more passive than the other drivers. I don't think that's saying much because everyone else seemed to be absolutely going wild. But did you feel like that in the cockpit, where you felt like you were maybe being a bit more cautious compared to the others?
Yeah, I'd definitely say we had a lot more cars at the front in this race, so definitely had to keep an eye out on where drivers were, and there was definitely a couple in the pack that were making some pretty big dive bombs. So I wanted to make sure that, I'd be there in the lead towards the end of the race in the last 5 minutes, and then I could start to pick my moves off. A good example was race 2, where I was sitting behind the pack basically for the whole race, and then had about 2 laps to go, sent it through the middle, and was able to get through. And that got up like 4 positions in that move, so that was good. And then they battled a bit, and I was able to pull clear and get a gap. But yeah, I definitely say that was my target, just to be cautious and be careful of what the other drivers were doing.
I'm not sure what time it is over in Australia now, but it's very early in the morning for yourself. I don't know how you do it, but do you feel fully awake? Do you feel like it makes any impacts on your driving, driving at this time compared to maybe the afternoon, or yeah, is there any difference there?
Try and get a good night's sleep, obviously. I find I'm awake enough to be able to race the Mazda, so yeah, it seems alright. And then head off to school after this, so pretty solid morning, to be honest, on Tuesday. But no, it's good.
Well, congratulations on the results tonight, Caleb. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, big thank you to Drop by Motorsports, the team sponsors, and Cozy Hybrid Racing Simulations, Sam Blacklock Media, and everyone that puts on the Apex Racing League.
Awesome, thank you very much, Caleb. We will see you back next week.
Cool, see you then. Have a good one.
Caleb Heights there, your second highest point scorer tonight with the racing. Andy, who would you like to have a chat with next?
I think Damien from the AMS. Let's have a chat with Damien. Hi Damien, can you hear us?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Hi Damien, welcome to the commentary box. Great start to the AMS season for you. 2 wins and 1 second place. How was it for you?
Brilliant. Really enjoyed it, and it's just be great to be back again and just seeing new names and old names. It's just great.
Yeah, the Irish seem to be dominating the standings in the AM class. Have you all been working together and got some tactics together?
I wouldn't say tactics. Be me and Nathan be really good pals, so we race together all the time. So we were in our own Discord chatting to each other while we were racing. So it wasn't team tactics. It was just out for racing each other.
Yeah, so obviously in the third race we saw you obviously leading that, and you seemed to lose it on the last lap. Was there any reason behind that?
My tires were gone. My tires were gone. So Names catched me, and I was like, Names like, I'm gonna catch you. And I was like, okay. So
well, at least you're sharing it out anyway. That's for sure.
Yeah, look, it's really enjoyable. So.
Oh, great. So Road America next. How are you feeling for that one?
Anxious.
It seems to me so the first 2 races are quite nice flat courses, high speed courses. How does that differ from the tight courses that are normally on the MX-5 series?
With the course you're saying flat, you can open them out and get the toe and everything. But when you're on a shorter track, once your position's there, you're going to have to hold your position if you can. If you can pass somewhere safe and clean, do it then.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thanks for joining us. Is there anything you'd like to give anyone you'd like to give a shout out before you leave us?
I just want to say thank you to your team, Apex, setting up this league again, to all my family and my friends, and to the sponsors that have helped me out.
Great. Well, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next week, Damien.
See you next week, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. That was Damien there. Two first and 1 second in the AM class. So great results for him today.
Yes, and always the most positive driver. we ever talked to. Peter Mackay always had a ball to talk last season to Damien, and always looking on the bright side of things. And he's got plenty to look positively about because, of course, that's some amazing results tonight for him. Some pretty good results as well for Nathan Healy, who joins us now in the commentary box. Not a fantastic race 2, but managed to get the amateur race win in race 3. Nathan, congratulations. That race 3 must have felt very satisfying because you had some catching up to do on Damien.
Yeah, it's thanks for having me. Yeah, it's fantastic racing. Race 1 was just kind of run my lines, stay as close to the demo as I can. Then race 2 was unfortunate. We're coming out of the bus stop, but that's racing. Then race 3, fighting from I think 19th all the way back to win it in the Pro-Am was very satisfying, especially when it's with Demo, because we run together anyway. So it's like we knew where we can push each other. So it's a fantastic racing with him.
We have in this car, there's kind of 2 types of racing. You got the tight twisty circuits like we mainly visited last season, then we got these more kind of expansive slipstream circuits. What are the tracks that you enjoy? Do you enjoy these kind of more raceable circuits or the more driving circuits, if you will?
I like the likes of Watkins Glen. I've actually only done this a couple of weeks ago in the C8R for an endurance race. So I have plenty of laps around it. These tracks that you can actually run, and there is a little bit of slipstreaming involved, but it's where you can actually just drive the car full out and get door to door is fantastic.
And of course, you have set out a bigger start to the season. You think that maybe you could have a chance at the amateur championship this season?
I wish I could, but unfortunately, I'm actually going to miss the next 2 weeks because I'm going to be on vacation. And it just came out of the blue. I was like, oh, I'm going to miss 2 rounds. But I'll give it my best shot towards the last rounds and try to give Damo a run for his money.
Definitely. You got a drop round, so maybe a chance at bringing it back. Thanks for having a chat with us, Nathan. Is there anyone you'd like to give any thanks to?
Just thanks to all the guys at Apex for setting up a fantastic championship, and shout out to the racing team, SCCR Simsports. And thanks very much for having me, guys.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, Nathan.
Thank you.
Nathan Healy there with a 12th, 19th, and 8th place finishes tonight. And I think, Andy, we have one more interview to go.
I think we look at Dan Parmalee. He seemed to have a bit of a nightmare in that round. Just like to get his views on it, really, I think. Hi, Daniel. It's Andy here. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you. What's going on?
Hi, man. I was watching your races. You seem to be started off quite well in most of the rounds, and you seem to be involved in a lot of incidents in them rounds.
Yeah, it was a great qualifying effort. I think one of the top AM guys, so that felt nice. But then just kind of those first 2 races got wrapped up in other people's business and was just kind of trying to hang on to what positions I could after that. And then I was really hoping I could get up there and battle with Damien. And finally in race 3, I got to his door. I think when we were coming out of the last turn on the 2nd lap to start the 3rd lap, and got run in the back of going into turn 1. So he just snuck through after I got hit. So it was good for him. He had some strong finishes, but just kept getting wrapped up in other people's business and couldn't really contend for a top spot.
Nice to see you. It's nice to see you positive, considering you've had, unfortunate incidents during the racing. How do you find these fast open tracks compared to the tight twisty tracks of, say, last season? Which one would you prefer?
I really prefer the tighter, more technical tracks. I think it puts more in the driver's hands. Certainly, these tracks require a certain amount of technicality because these Miatas being so low horsepower, you got to maintain that momentum through those corners. So you still got to nail it coming through corners. But I feel like I can take a nap on a couple of the straightaways. But looking forward to Summit Point definitely in a couple weeks in Interlagos. I think those will be a lot of fun for this car.
Yeah, so we got Road America next. How are you hopeful in that one?
I've never driven the Miata on that track. I did the Apex Racing League Porsche Cup. In season 2, we went there and did okay. Had fun. Wasn't the greatest result, but looking forward to seeing how this car drives on. I think there's enough technical sections in there. It'll scratch my itch.
That's good to hear. So thanks for joining us in the commentary. Would you like to give a shout out before we let you go?
Give a shout out to the wife and the parents. Think they're probably giving the race a little bit of a watch, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Daniel. Appreciate that, mate, and good luck next round.
Take care.
So Sam, interesting round one for sure. Across the AMs and the pros. Great racing, awesome sportsmanship, and looking forward to round two.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just trying to figure out the championship points. Actually, I'm just uploaded them. Although, yeah, unfortunately, there's been a couple of glitches, so I won't be able to say the championship points. But we certainly know that Powell Simonek is at the top, don't we? After that first race, 2 race wins in his Apex Racing League debut, of course. Is a super achievement. We've already talked about it a little bit, but Road America as the next race. I hope these drivers aren't bored, to be honest, out at Road America, because there are some long straights there, and also it's one of the best run to the lines in all of iRacing, I think, because that start finish line is quite a bit afterwards. You've got the uphill stretch as well, which, you know, kind of extends the straights a little bit as well. So I think if we're going to see a photo finish this season, I think it's probably going to be there.
Yeah, it's got some way to go to beat a 0.03 second race in race one. So yeah, but it's certainly the track to do it. It's a brilliant track, like you say. It's got big long straights, but also got a technical back end to the circuit as well. So that's where it could be run and lost, and obviously the slipstreaming again will come in on the long straight. So yeah, looking forward to round two. But I think the highlight for me was obviously Caleb Hybe's comment about obviously racing here and then going to school afterwards. I thought that was brilliant. That's commitment, I think.
Absolutely. I'm sure his teachers aren't too impressed when he turns up and is half asleep, but I'm sure half the other students are just the same. So
I'm sure they are, mate. I'm sure they are.
Will be fantastic to see at Road America if Caleb and Powell can keep up that good form. Of course, if you want to race in this series, the Apex Racing League Mazda Cup, then you can go sign up. The entry fee is £3 per round, so at the moment the fee is £24 plus VAT. You can sign up at apexracingleague.com, where you can also check out all of our other series. We've currently got 6 other series going on. We've got GT3s on a Tuesday, we've got Porsche Cup on a Wednesday, we've got TC on a Thursday, and also very excited to announce the ARL Gauntlet, which is a random car track combination for each round of the championship. That'll be on Thursdays coming up soon. Then we've got Prototypes on Friday, we've got Formula 3 on Saturday, and we've got GTEs starting as well on Sunday. All of those series have spots available. So you go over to apexracingleague.com and check them all out and sign up to whichever one you want to take part in. Thank you very much for tuning in for this broadcast. Of course, if you've enjoyed it, do leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel, then you're more likely to get recommended our videos, the next 7 rounds of this championship. And also check out our Twitch channel as well, because you might prefer to watch your streams over on that platform, so do check out over there. And also there are a few benefits as well. Big thanks to Virtual Racing School, SDK Gaming and Apex Racing Academy for helping us out on this broadcast on Apex Racing TV as well. But for now, from myself, Sam Fitzpatrick, from Andy Thompson and from Sam Kume, we are going to say goodbye, and we will see you in 7 days time for round 2 of the championship at Road America. See you then.
Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.